What's up YouTube, it's J-Man09. So I'm coming at you today with a little quick deck profile. I'm actually combining two different decks, sorta kinda. I'm combining the Inzektors and Crystal Beast, as you can see. It's actually a really good deck. I really like the way it runs with a little bit of extra support down here. I'll explain these cards down here in a minute. This is self-explanatory. But you got the Crystal Beast, you got 3 Ruby Carbuncles and 3 Sapphire Pegasus. Sapphire Pegasus will let you search out the Ruby Carbuncle, which is a light that comes into play in a minute. And then Sapphire Pegasus allows you to go into the Lightning Chidori if you can get 2 of them out with Crystal Promise or Crystal Beacon. It's actually a really good play. It allows you to, if I'm not mistaken, target one set card your opponent controls, return it to the deck, and that's even when it's summoned. And then once returned, you can detach one and target one card, or one face-up card, and return that to the top of the deck. So it's pretty cool. It's a way to get cards off the field, and it's a really good way to use Sapphire Pegasus and abuse Sapphire Pegasus with Crystal Beacon and Crystal Promise and all this other stuff. So alright, and the other part is also Inzektors. Everybody knows how Inzektors work. There's 3 Inzektor Centipede, 1 Dragonfly, 1 Hornet, 2 Ladybugs, and we got 2 Inzektor Caliber, so that's something else that the Centipede can search out. And then the extra add-ins that I've thrown in here have been 2 Goblinbergs, because you want to go into Lavalval Chain as quick as possible. You want that Hornet in the grave as quick as possible, and Lavalval Chain pretty much first turn, Lavalval Chain, Hornet in the graveyard, you can get a Centipede, you are set to go. Next turn, if this one stays on the board, you can put a Dragonfly or a Centipede on the top of your deck, which is actually really good. And this is why I also have Heroic Challenger Extra Sword. Extra Sword, when he's using an Xyz summon, the Xyz monster, the Xyz monster, not Xyz, Xyz monster gains 1,000 attack points. So it's actually really good. So Lavalval Chain becomes a 2,800 beater. And it's able to stay on the field for a little while. And then with that, you got Summoner Monk, because we run 17 spell cards, only 5 trap cards, so you have the ability to get a spell card when you're running Summoner Monk. And if you, no, never mind. And then you got BLS, because you have all the Darks, the Summoner Monks, the Centipedes, the Dragonflies, the Ladybugs, the Hornet, which you don't want to really use Hornet. But then you got the 3 lights up here, Ruby Carbuncle, which is easy to get on the field. So a quick, easy play that I like to do would be Summoner Monk into a Pegasus. Pegasus effect activates, put a Carbuncle on the field, Lavalval Chain, put Hornet in the graveyard. Next turn, summon out a Centipede, pop the Carbuncle so that you can get Hornet's effect off, or so you can get Centipede's effect if you're not going to pop something that they have. And then once Carbuncle's in the graveyard, you have something so you can just summon out a BLS. And that's why BLS is a pretty good aspect into this deck, because it's a quick, easy way to get a Dark and a Light into the graveyard and quickly summon out the BLS. 2 Maxis, I think these are going to become staples in this format because of the E-Dragons, or the Dragon Rulers, and Draco Sack, and all this other stuff. But these can be taken out because of the field spell, which I'll get to in a second, that I run. So you got the 2 Crystal Promises to get out. If you have one of these in your hand and a Sapphire Pegasus, you summon Pegasus, search for a Pegasus, use Crystal Promise, get the other Pegasus out on the field, search for a Carbuncle, and then you're good. Crystal Beacon, if you have 2 of these guys in your graveyard, or not in your graveyard, but in your field spell, trap or spell cards. If you have 2 more Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap card zones, you can summon out another one, and it'll actually get you another one if it is a Sapphire Pegasus. And you got 2 Inzektor Calibers, which runs with the Inzektor thing, part of the deck. Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, 2 MSTs because you want to get rid of the back rows. I mean, I know it's not really a staple in this format anymore, but it's still a good card, and you can also use it on your own cards like Inzektor Caliber, and it gets stuff off so that Centipede's effect can't activate. And then the field spell that I run with the 3 Terraforming, so that Summoner Monk has a lot of 6 extra targets in my deck, is Summon Breaker. Summon Breaker allows me to, during main phase 1, you can, if the player successfully conducts their summon of a monster this turn, their 3rd summon of a monster this turn, it becomes the end phase. So think about this: dragon rulers. Dragon. If they use the baby dragon, one of those can't attack. The other one may possibly be able to attack. But if they go into Big Eye, that's it. They're done. They can't summon. They can't overlay, or they can't actually detach. They go to their end phase, which means that they can't steal your monster. So they have to wait till next turn. And by that time, you should have enough stuff on the field so that you can go Inzektor, Centipede, grab the Hornet, pop the Big Eye, and keep going crazy. Go crazy on them. Which that's why I run 3 Summon Breakers and 3 Terraformings to make sure I can get that Summon Breaker so that if they want it, they have to get rid of it and they have to use Blaster's Effect, and then they can continue to go on if they really want to. But with Blaster's Effect, it makes them waste resources and makes them possibly not be able to actually get their Big Eye play, Draco Sack play out on the field because they have to waste the Blaster Effect. Also, we got the 3 Terraforming, as I said, and Foolish Burial, obviously, for the Hornet. 2 Compulse, because just in case you don't open up with the Premier Hand, you Compulse back their Big Eye, you Compulse back, if they blow up the Summon Breaker, you Compulse back whatever Exceeds monster they throw out, and then, they have to start all over. 3 Threatening Roar, because, that's just a pain in the ass if they get your monster and then they start attacking you. That's just for to last up the OTKs. You can also throw in some Wabakus if you want to take out the Compulse. Then you won't have to worry too much about being OTK'd. But that is my deck. Go with the Xyz monsters real quick. We got 1 Diamond Dire Wolf, 1 Cowboy, 2 Chains, because just in case one gets destroyed, you want to keep going. You want to make sure you go into the Lavavel Chain. Inzektor Stag, because you can make rank 5s with this Centipede and the Ladybugs and all that. Lightning Chidori, I've already explained that one. Maystroke, Shockmaster, Black Chipicorn, Volcanosaurus, Volcasaurus, Pappy, Tempo, which obviously I think will be a staple in this format. Should be for anything that runs level 3s, because you get the Draco Sack to get rid of that last thing. You take away the last Big Eye attachment or monster overlay unit. And then you got the Zenmains, Tyrus, and Leviathan. What I would say is probably take out the Leviathan, because you're not going to be really going into that. If this, you're going to be going into one of these 2 right here. So, you can take Leviathan out, and if it was me, I'd probably go with Adrius, whatever, Adrius, and so you have Adrius and Tyrus. So that's what I would do, guys. That is my deck profile of kind of a Crystal Beast Inzektor crossover. It's actually pretty good. It allows you to get out BLS pretty quick. You can throw Dark Arm in here with all the darks that we have, but it's easy to control with getting Inzektor Hornet out of the graveyard with the attachments. But I just see BLS being used better than Dark Arm. But that's about it, guys, for my deck profile. I really like this deck. I've been playtesting with it. I'm trying to get the Inzektor cards so that I have everything else except for the Inzektors and BLS. All the Inzektor cards in BLS. Oh, and the Threatening Roars. But I have the rest of the cards to make this deck. I've been playtesting it on DN and Dev Pro, and it works really, really well. Y'all should take it and try it out. Works pretty good. As long as you can get the Lavavel Chain off. You can usually get the Lavavel Chain off the first turn. And if not first turn, you can maxi and make sure that they got Summon Breakers so they can't just go freaking crazy on you. But alright, guys, that's my deck profile. Like, comment, subscribe, and later, guys.